Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you watched last week's video, then you might know that for every single week in March, I'm trying out a different person's routine. Last week we did Alicia Vikander's, and this week is actually going to be a little different because we're not just following one person's routine. As you can tell by the title, we are doing the Real Housewives this week. I am such a huge fan. It honestly gets worse every day, my obsession with these ladies. In my opinion, I felt like the Housewives are actually going to be the most interesting to do because they are known for so many different things, but they are most known recently for a little thing called the housewife drug, or better known as Ozempic. There's probably not a single past or active housewife who doesn't have at least one comment on one Instagram post mentioning Ozempic. Since everyone wants to say all these ladies are on Ozempic, I figured let's see if any of the workouts are actually quite challenging. Now, before we get into it, these wives don't give a detailed plan about anything about reps, about sets, or how long they do anything for really, so I kind of had to make this up as I go. So I went online, did some research through their Instagram, through Bravo, through all different sources to find different moves that they all do. I decided to do the average amount of sets and reps that I feel like is pretty typical. For me, I always do 3 to 12, so that's what we're going to stick with for these ladies. The sets and the reps are totally provided by me, but the moves are 100% the ladies. So since I only have clips of the ladies doing these moves and no real info, my decision on how to break this up was that we are going to do back and biceps, core, legs, chest, shoulder, and triceps, and a yoga day because every housewife loves a little yoga. I also am not going to be doing, for example, Teresa one day and then Tamra another day and then maybe Kenya another day and so on. Sadly, one wife was not enough to give me a whole arm day or a whole leg day, so we are going to make an arm day up of multiple women. So for example, if we took Teresa's arms and then Tamra's arms and Emily's arms and Kenya's arms, they're all on arm day, and then we also did the same with leg day. So our first day was actually a rest day because what housewife would actually get up on a Monday to go work out? Not many that I know of, so we took it as a nice rest day. Also because I was still recovering at this point from recording the Tomb Raider video. So, fun fact here. Out of all the workouts I'm trying this month, Housewives is the only one to give me some sort of indication on how much cardio I should be doing. Now, would I have preferred them to give me like mileage or something? Yes, because that's how I walk, it's for mileage, but they did give me time. So every day we're gonna be walking for 45 minutes. So I'm covering the counter. I'm just set an alarm that will go off because I feel like if I stare at it, it's gonna feel so daunting to have to do for 45 minutes, but let's get it going. So after the 45-minute walk, which was about 2.5 miles, I decided to get right into the first day with back and biceps. Typically I do standing rows actually with both arms at the same time, but let me say thank you, Tamra, because this was so much better. I actually even felt like I could go up in weight. It was so much less stress on my lower back. So from now on, I am switching to single arm rows. Thank you, Tamra. So if you didn't watch Alicia Vikander's video, she had higher sets and reps, but I was doing lower weights. So this week, since we are doing a little bit less, I made sure I upped my weight to make it more challenging for myself. Now prepare yourself because we are about to do a lot of different variations of a lat pull down. I've always done the classic and narrow variations and the pull through, but I've actually never tried the kneeling or the sitting. I personally feel like the kneeling and the sitting were very similar, but for me personally, I preferred the kneeling a little bit more just because it was easier to set up, and because I was so low to the ground with the seated ones, I couldn't let go of the thing without it like making a big clanking sound. So we kicked it off with another 45-minute walk, and for me, I always love to see if my walks are getting faster, but it's really hard this time because these are all 45 minutes, so I'm walking the same amount of time. I will say I did walk 2.52 miles today, so I will assume I did do it a little bit faster. Now, lucky me, I completely forgot to hit record on the cable crunches, and I'm so happy I did that because I know I looked as stupid as I felt doing those. But the only issue is I only look stupider from here on out. I felt really confident going into this day, but I also didn't because I felt like it was going to be 50-50 on if I could actually do some of these moves. The one move I was most worried about was these Russian twists, but surprisingly, one, they didn't hurt my tailbone, and two, I feel like I did them pretty good. Now, obviously, not the world's greatest Russian twist, but I'm still really impressed that I was even able to do this. Going into this, I really felt like these crunches, I was going to kill them because you're just crunching your body, but...
So, con with the legs up crunches, Kyle, is that I have a tailbone issue. And I'm resting right on the tailbone, so it hurts. So we're moving past the legs. Legs up one. We're gonna do bicycle crunches. I don't think the floor stuff's gonna work for me because I have a tailbone issue, so we'll I don't know. We'll see. I don't think the bicycle ones are gonna work either. So now we're just gonna try regular crunches and we'll see how that goes. So those are also no. I honestly am starting to think it's not about the tailbone. It is, because it hurts, but I think it's more about no core. I do have yoga ball sit-ups, but I'm a little afraid to get on the yoga ball, so I think while we're down here, we're just gonna try to do regular sit-ups. I can do planks. They're just so hard because they bend my little toes and they hurt. Just want to make something clear here. The planks were actually supposed to be plank to tap, but as far as I can't hold that for more than 8 seconds, we're just not. So we have our last thing provided by the Melissa Gorga here, fellow Jersey girl. We are doing mountain climbers. I've never done those before, so let's see. I think I have to be done for today. I just tore up my mat. Thank you, Melissa Gorga. And I don't even have a shoe on at this point. I'm done. I'm done. I'm giving up. We're done. Also, for anybody who says, you have one of those sit-up things, why didn't you try to use that for the sit-ups? I'm alone. You just saw what I did on the floor. You think I'm gonna be able to get off of that? You're crazy. So everything may or may not be potentially falling apart right now. I don't know. I don't want to say it because I don't want it to be bad, but last night I got up. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get everything ready so I can go down to the gym tomorrow. We're going to pee. And like while I'm walking, my toenail, there's like this sharp pain on the side of my toenail, which usually doesn't mean anything good. If you watched a few videos back, I mentioned that I used to have like really bad ingrown toenails. So I'm currently hoping that this is not that. I'm currently soaking them. We decided not to get up and go down this morning. I figured like take the day, soak them a few times maybe, and maybe go down later. I don't know. With the Housewives, I luckily did not plan out like when I was going to take the rest days. I kind of was just going to take them whatever. Based on how many workouts I made, I knew I was going to be working out 5 days out of the week, and then 2 could be rest days. So far on Monday, I used 1, and this would be my 2nd if I don't go down today. But I don't know. I'm just really hoping that it's not ingrown toenail because, like, minus missing days or whatever, it's more of like this could affect all the other videos we have. So hello. Are you trying to eat my hair? I'm gonna keep soaking them, hope they are better, and then we'll see if we can go down later today. And if not, I hope that we can go down tomorrow and that this is the one day kind of thing, you know, live. I don't know. All right, see you tomorrow or later. Who knows? Hopefully later. All right, even though we're not working out today, that does not mean the housewife lifestyle stops, because a true housewife, you know what she'd be doing right now?
True housewife would be watching her show, taking notes on what her castmates said about her.
So, even though we're not practicing, I'm listening, I'm learning, and I'm taking notes still. He's taking notes as well.
One thing that I forgot to mention while I was in crisis mode was that my core was quite sore. Not to rhyme on you guys, but it really was. And I generally thought it wasn't because I didn't feel like I even worked out that day. Like, I did feel tired from doing the 2.5 miles of walking, yes, but my core, not at all. And it was so sore, shockingly. In the end, though, I did end up not going down and making this a rest day because I just felt like that would be what is best for my feet. And it obviously was the best choice because we are good. We are okay right now. But since we are on a rest day, I feel like we should talk a little bit more about the Ozempic. Now, in the beginning of the video, I said almost every housewife probably has an Ozempic comment. And it is true, because I've seen them all myself. When I was looking at all these ladies working out, there was definitely one there. But I'm just so curious of how many of these ladies are actually on Ozempic. So me being me, I had to go do a little research. So I went and found any lady that has commented directly on Ozempic, saying they've either used it or they have not used it. Now with that research, I found 20 different wives who have either denied it or have said, I'm on it, which as of now is technically 4 because Emily did say she did go on Ozempic at one point, but she was on it for the actual use of diabetes, but she is no longer on it. Now, could these 16 ladies who say they are not on Ozempic be lying? Yes, but when has a housewife ever lied to us? Now, you may be wondering, why even mention the Ozempic topic? I just feel like whenever you mention a housewife who is working out, there is destined to somebody be, they're on Ozempic. This is all because of Ozempic. Could it be? Yes. Obviously, 4 of them have said it is because of Ozempic, but there's another 16 that have said, no, I built this body by going to the gym. So, you know, who's to know? I don't know. But I just figured I'd mention it because you really can't mention Housewives and working out without Ozempic gleaming over your shoulder, staring you down. Now for leg day, I've actually done a few of these, and not because I've just done my own variations and my own routines, but around this time last year, I actually found Luann's leg day. It popped up on TikTok, and it was perfect because I felt really stuck in my leg day. So I figured if this leg day is fit for a countess, then it should 100% be fit for me. I ended up quite liking hers a lot, so they are in my own personal routine that I still do today. One thing I actually didn't know this whole past year was that I was actually doing part 2 of her leg day. So we're gonna add in part 1, which is actually harder for me because I feel like these kickbacks, I just couldn't get my leg as straight as she was when she kicked it back. And then foolish me saw Tamra doing these and I figured I should try them. The only issue is I forgot I have no balance, and this move is not for somebody who has no balance. So from here, it's only been a few days since I filmed my Trying Alicia Vikander's workout, and when I did that video, I said I felt like I couldn't squat holding the weight, that I was compromising my form. But for some reason here, using the plate, I don't know why, but I didn't feel the same way. But don't you worry, we are not done with squats yet, because once again, Emily and her variation, she had so many different variations of the squats. I personally felt the most comfortable squatting with the Smith machine, as I've done that before in the past. Now it has been a minute, and it was definitely a little defeating to get back on here and only be able to do the bar and 10 pounds with it. And I was barely doing the bar, but you know what? We will get back to there. Now Emily did her RDLs with dumbbells, and I did try that at first, but I just felt like I couldn't get it proper, so I switched over and gave it a try on the Smith machine, and I instantly was able to feel it all in the correct muscles this way. Now I had some hope for this move because Emily did give me the kneeling lat pull down and I liked it, but I just felt goofy doing this. It felt like the crunches all over again. Now that I rewatched the footage, I don't feel like I was as off as I felt, but not for me because once again, it takes balance. Okay, so I just got back upstairs. I have a few more things that I have to do, but someone came in, and the ones that I had to do, I felt a little silly doing, because I already felt silly because I was doing the, I was finishing on the Smith machine, and then I was like, okay, I just have to try these cable crunches from Emily, and I went and did them, and I didn't know how to do them, and I'm like, ugh. The last ones I had to do were these squat walks by Phaedra, and I really wanted to try them because I really wanted to do Phaedra's DVD, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But the thing is, they look a little goofy doing them in the video, so I just feel like I already looked goofy doing the cable squats. I'm not setting myself up to look a little goofy down there. Not that I should care what people think, but you know, I'm like, it was already weird. And then the other things I have to do are these straight leg raises. 2 reasons I didn't do them down there. 1, I'm not bringing that mat down there after what happened with core. I have my own personal mat up here that I will just use. I also want to do physical therapy for my knee because I've been slacking and I haven't been doing it. And those are actually part of it. So I figure I'm just gonna tie it into one and do it all together. That's the plan. But other than that, I think for the most part, I did complete everything, not perfectly, but almost, so not horrible. Oh, I also had to do high knees for 20 seconds. Also, I felt a little goofy doing that down there for 20 seconds at the very end. So oh well, see you tomorrow. Now today we did train like a housewife, but we are going to learn still once again from them. Technically, this is not Housewives, but one of my faves, Phaedra's on here, so it counts. I think this makes up for not doing her workout today, is watching her on the show. So we kick off our second arm day with face pulls. Now, both Emily and Dolores did this with TRX, but this is the best variation I could come up with. Now, the next 3 moves I actually already have in my routine, and let me just thank Emily for having such a similar routine as I do, because it's actually just helping me master moves that I've already done. The only move I actually didn't have was this one, and it's because I actually do a variation of it. Typically, I will do it with 1 arm at a time, and I'm not sure which variation I like more, mine or hers. I do think I might be leaning a little bit more to hers because I was able to complete all 3 sets, while mine, I either am just barely completing it or I don't complete it. We moved over to the free weights, and Luann kicked it off with, I'm not sure what she would call this first move, so we're just gonna call it the open and close to a shoulder press. Then I went on and tried to do tricep kickbacks. Same thing as the lunge that I mentioned last week. It's just one of those moves I just cannot get down. I never feel like I can get my arm in the right position, so I scrapped it, and then we went to do 2 different chest press. I started with the incline one just because the bench was already set up like that, and then we moved on to a flat bench for a couple more and some chest flies. Personally, I prefer the machine to do chest flies, but you know there. Now, I got these from Dolores, and I didn't realize the way she did the movement was that she did it standing up. I did them sitting down the way I learned last week, so that's my bad. But then we ended it all off with a nice little medicine ball overhead press. Alright, I look a wreck. Bethany's over here watching over me. So I ended up finding, So I ended up finding Bethany's first 5 minutes to her workout DVD. Now, I wasn't going to do any workout DVDs because I didn't think it was fair that I couldn't find Phaedra's and Kenya's and Lisa Rinna's and all those guys. There's so many of them. But since I did find this first 5 minutes for free online, I decided I'm going to do that. I did it already. It was actually quite a good stretch. I didn't film it just because I'm doing it up here in my apartment and it was too cramped to try to set the camera up and all that. But, I mean, it was pretty decent, a good 5 minutes. Since that was just 5 minutes, either I'm going to go find another yoga video to try from just some content creator, because housewives, when they do yoga, they basically kind of do the basic stuff. They don't do anything super crazy. But also they show the same poses always, no matter the housewife that's doing it. So I'm either going to do another set of yoga or I'm going to go and do some physical therapy for my legs. So either way, we're doing some more stretching of a sort. But for now, that's it. We've completed Housewives. Thank you, Jesus. So compared to Alicia Vikander's, this was definitely way easier for me because it had a lot of moves that I already do in my workout. I think we can all agree that the day I struggled the most on was core, obviously. But that's bound to happen when you've taken one too many falls on your tailbone and you're also sitting on the floor on a cheap Five Below mat because you refuse to use the thick mats they have down there because you're a germaphobe, but whatever. So I don't think I'll be adding any of the core moves into my routine, but I will definitely be adding that kneeling lat pull down, and we will obviously be keeping Luann's leg day around. Now, it really is hard to say which housewife had the best moves. For arms, I'm definitely going to go with Emily though, and I think legs will be Luann. I personally find it really funny that Emily and Luann are definitely the ones that I'm picking in my head that gave me the best moves. Now, could it be because they also gave me the most moves? Yes, but I think it's kind of funny though that the fact that Tamra and both Teresa have done bodybuilding competitions, and they were actually the ones that I found it the hardest to get information from on their workout. So to answer my question, can they provide a challenging workout? Yes, I think you can make anything a challenging workout. I think it all depends on how many sets and reps you do, how much weight are you using. By obviously going with a heavy weight, it makes it way more challenging for me than if I stuck with a lower weight but did the same amount of sets and reps. So I think it's all about figuring that out. If we're gonna pick between Housewives and Alicia Vikander's workout on who's the most challenging, 100% not the Housewives. Sadly, I did not feel as sore as I did with her workout compared to theirs. I actually preferred their workout a little bit more because I was sore, but I was not as crippling sore as I was doing her workout routine. Now, one thing that we did not get to include in this video was housewife workout tapes. Now, we did do the first 5 minutes of Bethany's just because it was free online, but there are so many housewife workout tapes there. We have Lisa Rinna, we have my favorite Phaedra, we have Kenya, we have Bethany, obviously. I heard there's a Kristen Tateman video out there, oh my god. I really did want to do all those tapes, but one, I couldn't find them, and if I did find them, for example, Phaedra's was $30+, and I'm just not in the boat to spend $30 on a tape. But in the future, if you would be interested in seeing me trying only their workout DVD tapes, let me know in a comment down below, and maybe we will go out there, hunt for them, and splurge on that Phaedra tape. Who knows? But that's it for this week. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you come back next week to see whose routine we'll be following, and I will say it is most definitely fit for a superhero. Till then though, roll the outro.
Look at me, I'm lounged out over here.